Good morning, guys. We are here to move. Yay! Okay, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here with me. And today's movement therapy is twisting and flowing. Okay, so we're not going to be using any toys, any props, unless you need pillows or bolsters or anything. We're going to start in standing. And Rufus is taking over my mat right now, so I'm just going to back myself up a little bit. I'm going to stand nice and wide. I'm going to externally rotate, so lateral rotation through the hips. So really feel it open from the hips. Be intentional about that. And stack the bones on top of that pelvic bowl. Think ribs. We have 360-degree, like a lampshade of our ribs. So kind of check in. Are they flaring out? That's what mine do. I have to really think about adjusting and using my breath to attach my ribs to my hips, right? Little suspenders there. I'm going to stack myself up. My head is balanced on top. I'm just going to take a great big breath up. And then I'm going to exhale. And I'm just going to drive my elbows down nice and slow and lengthen down through those fingertips. And again, big breath all the way up. So really connect with your breath here. So if you don't follow my breath pattern, that's totally fine, as long as you are breathing, okay? Pilates is very intentional with breath, but ultimately your goal here is to just breathe, right? No holding the breath, but use your breath to go into those places that might be a little sticky, okay? Big breath in. You're gonna hold it right here. You're gonna sit into that little wide turnout plie. Take a breath, and you're going to curl your pelvic wheel as you roll forward. So I do this one a lot in class. It's a nice big sling opener of the back line, so you're in flexion of the spine. And then we're gonna restack those bones back up, full moon rising, and you're gonna drive the elbows down as you squeeze to stand. You got it. And then you're going to sit into it, scoop it forward, hug a tree right here, rounding through the spine, nice and easy. And you're gonna full moon. That's it, let the shoulders drip down the back. You got it, start to squeeze up as you drive the elbows down. Let's do that one more time. You're gonna sit into it, carving into flexion. Take a big breath. Restack the bones. Big breath, rising up. This time when you draw those elbows down, maybe you open into a little bit of extension, little opening through the clavicle, through the collarbones. Restack to tall and let it go. Okay, we're gonna stay turned out here. So if you need to wiggle it out a little bit, that's totally fine. So in this position, again, check in that you are spiraling those legs open. It's very intentional from that hip socket to roll open. So here we're gonna engage energy through the fingertips. I'm gonna rise up through this side. As I wheel down, I want you to open the rib cage. So it's common here when we do a side bend to just sort of shift like a typewriter, shift our ribs. But I want you to think more reaching, sort of opening the armpit, starting to spread the ribs out. We have all these beautiful intercostal muscles in between the ribs that help with your inhalation and exhalation. And you're gonna find that side bend, like a big rainbow. You're carving this underside. Yes, the muffin top gets in the way, but we're here to release stuff. So don't think about it. We're talking about your bones and your muscles. Breathe, reach up, and then draw yourself up to tall again. So every time I come back up, I'm thinking about not so much depressing the shoulders, but just lengthening through the neck, like I'm growing through the crown of the head. You could always bend into the knees, pressing those inner thighs back just to release it. You're gonna bring the other side up. So intention with those fingers, reaching, start to open all of this up as you carve this out. So this supports this opening. That's it. You got it. Yes, I know. I get it. I feel it on this side too. And then all the chins, right? I think I've got about 20 in this angle. That's okay. It doesn't matter. Breathe. Reach. Looking up. Restacking it. Beautiful. Release those legs. Push those inner thighs back. Wrapping open. Squeeze it back up. One more time each side. Up and over. Big breath. You could play with the way or angle that the hand is. What feels better? What gets you more open? When you open though, are you flaring this rib? If so, maybe you need to just carve into it a little bit. And then restack. Other side up. Big breath. Sit into it a little. I'm a rib popper, so I have to really control that. Breathing into it and stacking it back up. Lovely. I'm going to sit down into those knees again. Spiraling open. That's it. So in this position, I'm going to take a big breath. I'm not tucking my tail under. I'm not sticking it way out. I have to find that neutral. And I have to find neutral without my knees caving in. So think about the knees following the toes, this outer spiral, and then find the middle ground between a tucked tail and a sway back. That is your neutral. Think about that bowl of water. That's your pelvic bowl right there. You're going to take a breath. You could keep your hands here, and you're going to drive one heel up, and then the other, and lower, and lower. So I want you to change how you think about this. Don't just pick the heel up. You're going to articulate up through the foot. So you're going to roll, roll, rolling it down, rolling it down. That's it. So you're getting the metatarsals of the feet engaging and working. Roll, roll, and down. Two more. Up, up, and down. Last one. Up, up, down. Sit, and then squeeze to the top. Nicely done. You're going to drag those feet in. You're into a first position here. So your heels are together, your toes are apart. We're just going to bend and stretch. So again, you're staying tall out the crown of the head, and you're going to bend and squeeze and bend and squeeze. Snap, crackle, pop through my knees. If you're making noises, I hear ya. Well, I don't hear ya, but I get it. And squeeze. Two more. Last one. Squeeze it up. Great big breath to the top. We're going to go into a standing roll down. You're going to lengthen the back of your neck. I'm going to turn to the side. You're going to softly start to roll yourself down. Drape those arms. So imagine you're like the top of your candy cane. You're going to keep rolling, releasing through the spine. Soften your knees when you need to, so you can continue to roll all the way down. Take a big breath at the bottom. Bend and stretch. Bend and stretch. So I'm still scooping up. And stretch one more time. This time I'm going to scoop all the way. I'm going to restack the bones to the top. I'm going to take a breath here, grab one wrist, just find that opening again, wiggle it back to center, other side, back to center, and release it. Shake it out. We're going to take it down to the mat. I'm just going to lower this, so bear with me. And we're going to take it down to the mat, and we're going to do a little bit of 4-point. So think of cat-cow position, hands and knees. You guys are laughing at me, I know it. Yes, this is not my strong suit, people. There we go. That's as good as it's gonna get. All right, so you're into your 4-point position. Hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. So I naturally have this sway in my back, okay? So like I said, I'm a rib popper. I have to really think about connecting ribs to hips. If I use my exhale breath to do that, I pull into neutral. So rather than hanging here, I connect my breath to my entire core, my torso. So right here, my toes are curled under, so I'm into the metatarsals of the feet there, and I'm just gonna push back, maintaining that neutral spine, and I'm gonna rock just a little past the wrist and back. And just flow forward and back. Forward and back. One more time. And back. And then I'm going to settle into that 4-point position. I'm going to unravel my toes. So now I'm trying to open the tops of the feet up. So you might find this is hard. You might want to go back to this, or you might find this is hard and you want to go here. What I want to challenge you to do, though, is to keep them in parallel, just like the legs. So they're not coming together. I want you to push your shins into the ground so they're actually working as well. So I'm going to keep looking at you this way. So I've kind of positioned myself sideways so that I'm not cranking myself. Sometimes I might be, but I want you to think about length through the cervical spine. All right, so I'm growing out my tail and out the crown of my head. From this position, I'm going to open up my leg. So I'm going to lengthen one leg, but I'm still squaring my hips. I'm going to take a big breath. Then I'm going to start to rotate it open as I open one arm up. So I'm searching for that pushing away from the ground, reaching for the ceiling, opening through the side of the leg, and then I'm going to bring it back down and release it. I'm going to lengthen the other leg, balance and push into that hand, and I'm going to open the other arm. And I'm going to reach. And then I'm going to twist back, square the hips, and bring that leg back in. One more time each side. I'm going to open it and reach. That's it. Lengthen like I'm drawing energy towards the sky. I'm going to sweep my arm back, squaring the hips. I'm going to rotate to the other side and open it, reaching, breathing, sweeping that arm down, squaring the hips and drawing the leg back in. Now I'm going to stay in this 4-point position. I'm going to recheck with the spine, and I'm going to reach just the arm. I might not go as far, and I'm going to carve through cat into thread the needle. So I'm going to switch my position. I'm coming here, and then I'm going to scoop and carve underneath. And I'm going to reach, and I'm going to carve my belly. So I'm pulling my belly to my spine as I scoop and carve into flexion. And then I'm going to release it. All right, so I'm going to switch it around from the other side. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to open it up. I don't get quite as much range on this side. I have an injury on this side and a couple surgeries. It doesn't quite move like it used to. And then I'm going to scoop and carve through it. And then I'm going to unwind and bring it back up. And again, carving through flexion, adding that twist. Unwinding and reaching, pushing the ground away. And again, unwind. Let's do one more. Carving it under. Unraveling and reaching. And then releasing it back down to that 4-point position. Beautiful. So, At any point you can release the wrists. It can get very wristy. Wiggle those fingers out, roll the wrists out, do what you need to do. So I want to do one more thing in this position. Again, we're just flowing this, so you could spend more time doing this. This is just to give you ideas of what you can do to move. You don't need anything to do this work, and it's so important. Just set your intention to it, right? And connect your breath to it, and you can really gain a lot. It's building you from the inside out. That's the goal. So we're in the 4-point position. I want you to curl the toes under. So I do this with my Pilates mat class all the time. We spend a lot of time on our feet, but we don't necessarily work on them. We're not too kind to our feet as we jam them in shoes every day. So I want to work on the flexion of the ankle and the toes. So you're going to just lean back. So this could be a lot on your knees. So you could roll your mat up. You could put a blanket underneath just for the knee flexion. Okay? So you're going to come back. So you've got the toe mounds spread out. You're still in a parallel line with each other. Okay, hips to knees, big breath. Just stay there as long as you can. And then you're going to come forward onto the hands, unhook the toes, flatten them out again. You could take them a little closer on this one and let the knees open up and sit back onto the tops of those feet. You're going to breathe there. The idea is send the breath there so you can let go into it. You're going to rock it forward. You're going to parallel the legs, curl the toes, and rock it back. So now we're going to flow it a little. You're going to come forward, unhook it, and bring it back. Forward, curl it under, and forward, and back. Nice. And under. That's it. And back. Maybe they're not as angry so far. Now, what about if we do this? Curl it under, lift the knees, Kappa squat. Maybe you're not there, right? Listen to yourself, listen to your body. Roll it forward, back, and up. That's it. All of this is just opening up lines through your body. We have all these sling lines and pull lines, front line, back line, cross lateral lines, you name it. And all of this is sort of flossing it. It's opening it up. It's greasing your joints. It's greasing the lines of mobility in your body. Last one right here. Take a breath, and you're going to release it and let it go. Okay, so we're going to hit our side line. So we're going to go into some mermaid. I'm just going to shift my mat a little bit here. So we're going to go into mermaid. There's many ways you can adjust yourself in mermaid. So the idea is one leg is forward, one leg is here. I like the connection of this foot to the thigh just above the knee as you can push and open. In a perfect world, we can all ground both sit bones to the ground. We do not live in a perfect world or in perfect bodies. That would be boring, you guys. So if your hip or your sits bone cannot ground down, I want you to take your hand into your hip, and I want you to just start to rock back and forth. I want you to connect your mind to the grounding down of your sits bone. So stick your finger back there. Stick your finger back there into that bone you feel in the center of your cheek. All right? That's your sit bone. Chances are that's your sit bone that you're on. And that's what you're trying to ground and root down through. So now leave it there. So as long as your intention and connection is there, that's okay. You could also, I don't have something close by, but you could wedge a brick or not a brick from a house, but like a yoga brick or block or a pillow or something underneath that cheek so that you can ground down into it. It is going to lift some when we go, but you're still always intentionally rooting down. So this hand's going to come to the side. Again, you could flex the foot on this outside leg. It will protect the knee. If you're comfortable, you could point the toe. If this is too much, because that's a lot of flexion, you could come out in front, right? You could be sitting up onto a cushion or bolster and doing it from there to turn those hip flexors off. So there's a lot of ways you can do this. So from this position or whatever position you choose, you're going to take a big breath up. So here's what we did in standing. You're going to open it so it's not shifting. It's, can I open this side body, carve the underside, and I'm going to come down to the forearm, and I'm going to find that nice big rainbow. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to reach the arm up. I'm going to push my foot into my thigh, opening up my hip flexor, and I'm going to ground my roots down and come back up. Let's do it again. Up. Inhale to stay. Exhale to move. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale to carve over. Beautiful. Breathe and restack it. We're going to add on to it. So this time you're going to come up. You're going to come down. Stay there. Take a big inhale breath. Now you're going to exhale and you're going to scoop your low belly. So you're pulling your low belly towards your low back as you twist. So there's another yummy twist, you guys. Big breath to stay. Inhale. Exhale to unwind. Stay there. Exhale and twist. Carve the belly to the spine. Inhale to open it. One more time. Inhale to open. Exhale to come back up. Beautiful. We're going to switch that around. So flip your tail. We will be doing plenty of mermaids this week. Don't you worry. It's one of my faves. You might notice too, in a Pilates breath, you breathe out through the mouth, through pursed lips, and in through the nose. So it's different than yoga breath where it's in and out the nose, which is wonderful and beautiful. But with the exhale through the mouth, if you were to sit there and just breathe in and out through the nose, it's lovely, and it can center you and it relaxes you. Now I want you to breathe in through the nose and out through pursed lips. In through the nose, out. What happens in a Pilates breath when you breathe out through the mouth, whether it's a or a, the pelvic floor lifts up. Guy or girl, we all have a pelvic floor. The pelvic floor lifts up. It turns on your transverse abdominis, okay? If that pelvic floor does not pick up, that is not turning on. So you always lead with your breath in Pilates so that everything is connected so that you can keep opening and building and releasing and strengthening and lengthening. Okay, so that is why we breathe out through the mouth, to turn the pelvic floor, to lift it, and to turn the transverse abdominis on. So we're going to hit the other side, find that hip joint, and do a little rock. It could feel completely different on this side. Little rock back and forth. That's it. How we doing? It's like teaching on Zoom. I love it. I'm grateful for it. But I can't hear you. Grounding down through that sits bone. All right. Take a big breath up. Start to open that side body. Carve the underside, and you're going to find that nice big rainbow. So I'm really thinking from these fingertips all the way down to this sits bone, there's this huge pull line, right? Big, gorgeous line. Add a little push with that foot to open this a little bit more. It feels even yummier. You're gonna reach and you're gonna pull it back up. Let's do 2 more like that. Big breath, carving it open. Big breath into the armpit. Reach, X to restock. 1 more time. Inhale up, X. Inhale to stay, X. Beautiful. This time you're going to come all the way up, come all the way over. You're going to stay there. Big inhale. And then you're going to exhale to carve the belly back to the spine. Find a little flexion. And then you're going to inhale, open it up. And then X, carve it out. Inhale to open it up. And X to carve it out. 1 more time. Inhale to open it. X to carve it. This time you're going to inhale to open it. You're going to reach and you're going to restack your bones. All right, you guys. You're going to come into a, let's sit for this one. So you're going to extend, I'm going to back myself up. You're going to extend one leg straight out. I'm pushing through the sole of my foot. I'm going to bring the other foot in. So maybe yours isn't going to come in this far. Maybe it's here, maybe it's here, maybe you've got a cushion underneath it, whatever works, okay? So I'm going to sit up. It's straight out in front. I'm not out to the side. Straight up. Remove the meat from the bones. So I'm sitting right up out of the sit bones. I'm stacked tall like a Jenga game. All right, big and tall. Take a deep breath in. And I'm just going to cross this arm around to the outside. My other arm is behind me as I sit up tall. And I'm going to find that nice stretch. While I'm here, I'm still pushing through my foot, through the heel, as I pull the toes back. I'm breathing. Maybe with every little exhale, maybe I twist a little deeper. 1 more big inhale. And then I'm going to exhale all the way around. And I'm going to release it. This leg is going to cross over now. So I'm still sitting up tall. I'm going to take my arm underneath. That's it. We're going to do the same twist again. You're going to come behind, sit tall, and find that twist. It's going to get it in to the side of your leg, into your glutes. Breathe. One more big breath. Twisting back to center. You're going to release that leg in front, flexing the foot, pulling the toes back, bring the other leg in. So just think with every twist, your exhale breath is squeezing the breath out so you can mobilize a little bit further maybe, okay? So sitting up nice and tall, you sweep that arm around, hand behind, readjust, and then find that twist. So there's a little bit of, pull right here. So big twist. You're not cranking the head around. You're letting it just naturally twist around, breathing into it. Big breath in and out. One more time, in. And then releasing it. This leg is going to come across now. That's it. You're going to hug that arm underneath and you're going to readjust, sit up nice and tall. Still pulling that foot back. There's a sling line from the base of your toes all the way around your heel, through your hip, up and around, right into the crown or into the forehead and into the roof of the mouth. So pointing the toe is a different stretch than flexing it. So we're in this dorsiflexion. You're going to twist and find it right here and just sit tall. Big inhale, Big inhale, One more time, big breath. Exhale all the way back. You're gonna release that leg. Take a breath right here. And you're gonna exhale, you're gonna scoop the belly back as you come forward. So I'm not folding, I'm up quite high. I'm up quite high because I'm flexing and rounding through the spine. I'm gonna just breathe. And just allow myself to relax in that flexion. One more big breath, and then I'm going to stack up tall. Now I'm going to hinge from the hips, so I won't go as deep. I'm pulling those toes back, and I'm going to pulse right here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Restack, lift, twist. Center, center, big inhale. Exhale, hinge and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Restack and twist. And let those arms go. You're gonna turn and face me, or well, you're not gonna turn and face me if you don't want to. However, you can see me. We're gonna go into a half moon stretch. I am gonna shift my mat around so you can actually see my body. And we're gonna end in this. So this should feel super yummy. Okay, so you're gonna start just point and flex the feet. Point and flex. That's it. Just point and flex. Really think about feeling that pull line through the back of the legs, through the front of the shins. That's it. And then just relax the legs, okay? So I'm gonna just move this back a little bit so you can see, hopefully. Okay, so you're gonna start lying down, okay? You're gonna take a big breath up. Your arms are coming overhead. Take a big inhale, and you're gonna pick up your legs and move them to one side of the mat. And then you're gonna pick up your arms and your head, and you're gonna move to the same side. You're gonna grab that outside wrist, and you're taking the outside leg, and you're gonna cross it over so that you're in a nice big sort of banana, half moon shape. And then try to allow yourself to relax there and breathe. Every inhale, those ribs expand and fill up. Every exhale, oops, the doorbell just rang. Every exhale, the ribs funnel in and down, and you just sink and melt away a little bit. Big breath in and out. One more breath in and out. You're going to slowly bring those arms and head back to center. You're going to bring the legs back to center. Take a big breath here. Exhale, connect. Pick the legs up, bring them to the other side. Pick the head and arms up, bring it to the other side, grabbing that wrist. And find your big half moon stretch and bring that leg across and breathe into it. Maybe you feel it more on this side or less. Those first couple breaths, we kind of fight where we are. And then I want you to send that breath into those tough spots, those holding spots, sticky spots.
and allow yourself to melt a little bit. Two more breaths. Big inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. You're going to slowly unwrap the legs. Bring the arms and head back to center. Bring the legs back to center. Take a big inhale here. You're going to bring those arms up to the sky. And you're just going to reach the shoulders up and then let them drop down. And it's a reach and drop. It's just gentle scapular isolations. Protract, retract, and settle. Lift and lower. Take a breath here, and you're going to just let the arms cross the body and allow them to just hang and release. Feel the scapula, the shoulder blades spread apart. You could hug your hands around the back and then relax the elbows down. Let it go. Connect your breath to every exhale. One more time. Release the arms. You're going to cross them in the opposite direction. Hug your body. Take a big breath. Let the elbows relax. Let the arms get heavy and breathe. So again, imagine with every exhale, you melt and release a little bit more. With every inhale, you bring in new life. Just breathe. One more big inhale breath. As you exhale, you're going to open those arms up. You're going to slowly drag one leg in and then the other. Take a big inhale. You're going to bring one leg up. And you're going to carve. And you're going to roll yourself to the top. Everything is switched on a crazy angle. Rufus almost took the camera down. Okay, you guys. Let's just sit cross-legged on this crazy angle. And I want you to feel energy through the pinky toe line. And it's instead of being kind of blah, you're engaged and lifted. There's those sit bones again. If the meat crawled back under, sit right back up on top. That's it. You're going to take one hand to the ground. You're just going to come over into that side bend. You're going to find that flexion and you're going to round it forward and then restack. Other side, up, over, carve the belly, moving it around and restack. One more each side, up and over. Scoop the belly out, slurp the belly to the spine as you come back around and up. Last one, up, carve, round it, restack. Take the hands here, lift the energy. You can recross in the opposite direction, energy through the pinkies, nice and tall, and you're just going to mobilize through the head and neck. Nothing forced, just can you glide right and left? Can you feel where you're tight, where you stick? A lot of times, every movement we make is just giving you feedback. It's giving you knowledge that can empower you. That's it. One more time each way. To center and just relax. Just relax. You're going to let your head drop to one side. So you could take the opposite hand, tuck it underneath your seat, opening through the neck extensors. Our sternocleidomastoid, this big ropey muscle here, goes all the way around. It gets tight. Breathe into it. That's it. Now dropping the chin slightly so that you can look towards that shoulder. That's it. Breathe. turning it a little bit. Then you're gonna rock it to the front and restack. Release that hand, tuck the other one under, and drop the head to the shoulder. Breathe in. Again, you might have one side that's way tighter than the other. That's it. Just breathe into it. Adjust the chin slightly. See what that does. Rotate the chin down towards the shoulder, looking towards the shoulder. And then you're going to slowly roll it to the front and restack and release. And just take a great big breath. That's it. Just like at the beginning, you're going to round into flexion. Full moon. Drive the elbows. Maybe you find a little extension now. Yummy. And then scoop and carve it out. Rise and restack. One more time. Drive the elbows down. Carve and hug it out. Rising it up. And let it go. You guys, you did awesome. You did fantastic. The camera's still going even though Rufus almost took it out. I hope you enjoyed moving. Again, every day will be a little bit different. Take what you can from it. If you have any questions, message me. I'll be happy to answer as best I can. I know it's different when it's like this and I can't poke you. And I hope you enjoyed it. All right, we'll be back again tomorrow. Okay, have a great day, guys.